Hey there, gonna be trying a fursuit brushing video and a little bit of voiceover to go with it. That's my slicker brush, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of brushing. I had just washed the fursuit, and as you can see, it looks kind of rough right now. But don't worry, we'll make it better. Just some light brushing. Notice that I'm brushing against the normal pulling motion of the brush. This is normal for slicker brushes. And right now, I'm just working to get some of the worst of the mats out. You'll see it's very matted around the collar. That's because that's where the fursuit head brushes up against. Now, not really a big deal because, well, you don't see that part, but it's still nice to brush it out a little bit. And you'll see as I go along how much fur this picks up. But yes, this is a plastic slicker brush with the retractable bristles. And yeah, I'm just going to be sort of slowly working my way through the suit. You noticed before me doing a little bit of a sound test, and that was a 3 microphone setup. So I have a overhead boom mic that's sort of directed right at the fursuit, and then I had a stereo microphone to give a little bit of a stereo sound to it. You saw me testing that a little bit earlier, and now it's just working my way through the brushing. Now, the thing with this is always, as you do it, it's always going to be not perfect, and it's going to be messy, and you're going to flip it over, and it's going to get all messy again, and that's okay. You're just getting a little bit better, so when you finally wear it, you can do a quick brush, and it's all good. I'm working my way down through the legs now, and through Cheshie as well, and other regions. You have to brush a little more sensitively when that happens. But yeah, just look at the way that comes out so nicely. And a little bit of leftover fur. And just working my way through the legs. Look at all the colors on this. Scarlet Wings did a really nice job of the color variations on the legs. I had friends who wanted to look at it up close and say, is this a dye job or is this layers of fabric? And it in fact was layers of fabric. So you can see there after the wash it looks kind of messy. But we'll get to that and we'll get it all brushed out. It is nice to always start with this sort of messy beginning and then just slowly work your way through it. I had a Furnal Equinox coming up before this, so I was just giving it a wash to make sure, it was presentable in public and giving it a quick brush. You can see there it's still kind of messy, but again, that's because I'm flipping it over to brush it. And once I'm done with this, it'll look much nicer. Right now, it's just getting the big lumps of fur sort of separated out and just trying to get that smoothness going back again. Later on, I'll be hanging the suit up, and then you'll be able to sort of see it from a hanging position to see what it looks like. and just some light brushing to get it together. And it's also very important for, you can see the color differences and the layers of color. By brushing it, it makes it look much more smooth between them, so it almost gives you this sort of graduated look or a faded look, and that's really important as well. Now moving on to the back, you can see a lot of matting around the collar at the top there. And again, that's because that's where the fursuit head connects with it. Now, it's going to be covered, but it's still nice to brush it anyway, isn't it? So yeah, just a little bit of light brushing. Just pushing the brush through. It is nice to do this once in a while. Now, eventually you have to be careful because every time you do this, it does take a little bit of fur out, but not a lot. But brushing it is still important. And really, all these suits are here for a good time. They're not here for a long time. So you enjoy them while you have them and you take care of them. Anyway, I'm recording this all after we finished Furnal Equinox, and I had a good time there. And it was nice to walk around with the suit and have everyone see it, and not be worried that, you'd worn it one too many times and it was all smelly. Because don't do that. Remember, this is all about being presentable in public in your suit. And to the people who came up and said hi at the convention, well, thank you. So, just working my way through the arms. It is relaxing. It is kind of nice to do this once in a while. It's always a bit weird with the camera set up to do it, but, I figure show the process. And for people who don't have a suit yet, or people who do and are worried about brushing it, see, not too big of a deal. But again, go against the normal path of the brush. Usually you'd be pulling with a slicker brush for like a cat. But in this case, you're pushing. That way you're not pulling against the bristles. Here you see Cheshie's amply padded behind. Now this is a digit-grade suit, so there is definitely padding added from the waist downward. Around my belly, there's no padding needed. I'm working on that. Oh, look at this. So this must have been from back in October when I was out photographing outdoors. I found this when I was brushing it. I hadn't even spotted it. Get you some close-ups on it. So, this must have been when I was visiting birds and others. Let's see if it focuses. It didn't focus well, but those are burrs. So I must have been somewhere where there were burrs out in the field and must have met them. And I think there's a second one. Yep, there's the second one. It's funny because when I started brushing it, you get almost a weird smell to the burr. Like you suddenly smelled this wood smell, and I was thinking, well, what is this? Anyway, they were removed, just remove them gently, and after that I just kept brushing. So there is the peak of drama for this video. I know, very exciting. And now we're going to get back to the legs. But yeah, you can see here the padding in the digit-grade suit, so that's why it's not sitting flat, because there's paddings to give the illusions of the digit-grade legs. And here you can see some matted fur. It's not too bad. It's just, the wear and tear of walking around in suit, taking it on and off, filming videos with it. We're going to weigh up the inside legs here. And if you're wondering, there's going to be a version of this video without the audio, without the talking, so you can hear this without all the brushing sounds without me rambling over top of it. Hopefully you enjoy those as well. And now we're getting to Cheshie's very sensitive areas for brushing. But that's okay. Cheshie is very relaxed at this point in time. it's always hard to judge when you're sort of brushing it out flat because, again, every time you flip it over, oops, there's the fur. There we go. So it does lose a bit of fur as it goes along, but not a lot. But obviously you don't want to overbrush it. For this video, I was just filming the suit. The tail had been previously brushed. But yeah, it's just nice to make everything look nice and presentable and before you go meet audience. Some quick adjustments. Yeah, the video can be a little strange here because I'm relying on auto. Oh, there was the padding in action. So you can sort of see there the bunching of the fabric and where the padding shows up. Mine has the padding sewn in, so it does make it a little tricky to dry, but it does dry out, just gotta be careful. And remember with fursuits, you should never use heat to dry them, because what happens is it'll end up sort of ruining the texture of the fur, and it gets all frizzled. In fact, I think with my cat tail I have a bit of heat damage. I don't think it was from the dryer. I didn't use heat there, but it was sitting at the bottom of the tub that I had the suitcase in, like the fursuit in, and I think that got hot because it was near a vent, but there's definitely a little bit of heat damage on the tail. It's a lot less soft and shiny and a lot more frizzy. Oh, look at this. You can see how nicely that brushes out and how clean the lines look afterwards. It's just so nice. And back to Cheshie's belly. There's a lot of belly to brush. And again, it's just getting it back to normal, and then once you put it on and you can give it a little brush out before you walk around in it, it's all set to go. And there is the chest detailing. Again, amazing job to make it look near seamless there. And again, you'll see a lot of matting around the collar, and I don't brush that 100% out because you can't see it anyway, but I want to at least get it started. Once it's hanging up on the hook at the end, you'll see a little bit better. So I know I don't always do brushing videos, and obviously I can't do it all the time because the suit would fall apart. But it is important to do this once in a while, and if people enjoy it, maybe I'll film it for future attempts too. It always gets extra matted around the zipper because, again, that's a contact point. Zipper touches fur, zipper mats fur. Yeah, it's looking a lot smoother now. And yeah. Again, this is part of what owning a suit is about. Costs a lot of money nowadays to buy one or even make one, and you really want to take care of it to last it as long as possible. All suits will eventually wear out, and that just is the nature of the game. But I might be looking at Cheshie 2.0 coming soon. We'll see. I'll still be wearing this one, but I'm looking for a plantigrade suit that's a little more portable and a little more activity-oriented, because this suit's wonderful and has a wonderful silhouette, but it is hard to do things in this suit. You don't move the same. It's very awkward to try to operate stuff or run around in, so I want a little bit more of an active suit coming up. Stay tuned for that one. For those who stuck around to the halfway point of this video, well, there's a sneak preview of what to expect from Cheshie. Oh. And again, a little more fur. Not a huge amount, so it's not like you're taking out giant chunks. Okay, and now we've cut over to me having this on a stand. So now we're brushing this on a C-stand. Just to have the height adjustable, and you can see a little closer view of the matting around the collar. There we go. Let's see a little bit more of the suit in action. And then this gives us a little more vertical brushing. That was my stomach. I apologize. My microphones can be awfully sensitive to sound. By hanging it up, you can sort of get a better idea and not constantly sort of remess the fur up every time you flip it over. But yeah, I'm using a C-stand here, but that's obviously overkill. Anything that can support the weight is good. I do have a double hanger though, because, well, it is pretty heavy. And once again, panning down a little bit, or, well, not really panning, tilting down. Give this a brush out, and you can just sort of see the smooth fur there and the lines from the brush, but don't worry, this all will come out after just a couple of strokes of the hand. You're just trying to get it, cleaned up a bit. Here you can see the legs, and it's really nice to see them, right? Look at the colors on that, and the colors have kept so nicely for this. As we brush Cheshie's nether regions a little bit. Oops, just brush gently, These are sensitive areas. And there's the legs. Well, yeah, while we're brushing, I have some future videos coming out we'll talk about. And I do look forward to making some more stuff, both in and out of Fursuit. Some of the content I have coming up is much more video essay-like, and while there might be a suit showing up, it's not the main focus. There's only so much you can do while wearing a fursuit that's really particularly different than regular stuff. But I'll do my best to have that part of it. Here I am just flipping it around to the back. Yep, just some minor adjustments. Zip it up and keep brushing. Again, you can see some matting in the back. And you definitely have a bit where that mohawk is in the back, or the mane, if you want to call it that. It's all good. There we go. See, now you can really see it brush out. And again, around the very collar, no one cares about. No one's going to see it. But you definitely want to have, the mane nice and brushed, and you want to have the arms and all the colors show up and be nice and brushed out. See? Looks so much better. There's a little bit of a part there that makes a little more work, but again, that's also where the head intersects it. Oops, raising the bar a bit. There we go. You can sort of see Cheshie's lower back. And as we go down further, you'll see more of Cheshie's, well, ample padding. I know people online, talk about it a lot and joke about it, but to be fair, a lot of it is padding. That being said, I do hope to get myself a little bit back into better shape in the summer. I've been working too much on the computer. Anyway, tilt down, and now you can see Cheshie's glorious badonk. The fur is looking pretty smooth there already, so we will not do too much there. But yeah, you can sort of see the shape of the padding there. It definitely adds to the badonk that is not normally there. Well, not all there. Oops. And more fuzz. That's the sound. As we work our way through the badonk. Now, as we slowly circle the badonk here, just short, gentle strokes of the badonk. That is a technical term, of course, for that zone on a digigrade suit is the badonk. But yeah, we're starting to finish up here. Give a little hello wave. And next we move on to the suit head. So, looking a little shadowy, but this is the Cheshie head. So, this fur is already shaved, so we're not doing a lot. We're just making sure the fringe that's sticking out looks nice. And yeah, just a little bit of work on the mane. Now you will see that the mohawk at this time is not currently attached, and I had to fix that later. But, you know, we'll fix that later. There's always a little bit of maintenance that's needed for a suit. But right now, just making sure that all the long fur is going in the right direction, as Cheshie gives you a little bit of a funny look. We'll fix that eyebrow later. There we go. Just making sure, but it's fine. And now we'll work on the neck. And again, this stuff sees a lot of movement, so you gotta give it a nice brush. But yeah, it's not a super complicated process. And I do hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble over top of it. I never really know what videos like this or what people expect from these videos, so I just do a little bit of talking, and as you can tell, I like to ramble. So I ramble over top of the video. Not the most formally written thing, there's no cue cards, there's no teleprompter. I'll save that for other videos. But just sharing the process. And there, Cheshie's glorious dark mane, which again needs a little bit of brushing, and a little bit more repair TLC. But again, that's expected. And a little bit more fur for the camera. And once more for posterity. Just a bit of brushing here at a camera. And yeah, we're approaching done here. Just doing little details. Just trying my best to get the mohawk or the mane sort of set up. There we go. Okay, we're approaching done. And there's Cheshie just staring right back at you. Wishing you a wonderful day. I do hope you've enjoyed the brushing video. If you've enjoyed this and want more ASMR content, give some likes, give some comments, give some suggestions, and I'll see what I can do in the future. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Follow, like, and subscribe. Okay. Thank you very much.